Now coming to the point, today I am going to give seminar on mutual funds, and I would like to cover the topics under mutual funds are the introduction to mutual funds, types of mutual funds, advantages as well as disadvantages of mutual funds. So let me start with the introduction to mutual funds. Mutual funds are nothing but it is a financial service organization that receives money, invests the same and earns return on it. That receives money, invests the same and earns return on it. So it is just an attempt to make it grow and agrees to pay the shareholders cash on demand for the current value of his investments. Basically, there are 3 steps involved in mutual funds. The first step is, as mutual fund is like a trust, it pools savings from number of investors who shares a common financial goal. And the second step is, the money collected is then invested in capital market instruments. Capital market instruments are nothing but shares, debentures and other securities. And the final step is, the income earned through these investments are shared between the unit holders in the agreed proportion. So these are all 3 steps involved in mutual funds. For understanding sake, I will show you one cycle called mutual fund cycle. It is like here. There is an investor pools money with the fund house, and there is a fund manager who invests in such securities are nothing but shares and debentures, who invest in securities, and those securities generate returns, some sort of returns, and returns will be passed back to the investors. This is called mutual fund cyclic form of mutual funds. So that in India, the mutual fund started in the year 1964 with the establishment of Unit Trust of India. That's all about the introduction to the mutual funds. The next topic is about the types of mutual funds. In order to achieve the objectives of investors, the mutual funds have gone through the different strategies, and accordingly they offer some sort of schemes in the investments. All those will be explained under the head of types of mutual funds. So basically, the mutual funds have classified into 5 broad categories according to the ownership, according to the scheme of operation, according to the portfolio, according to the location, and finally according to the market capitalization. I will explain each and everything. Then coming to the first and foremost type of mutual fund is according to the ownership. According to the ownership, again subclassified into 2 types: public sector mutual fund and private sector mutual funds. Under the public sector mutual funds in India, before introduction of mutual funds, there is only one public sector mutual fund, that is called Unit Trust of India. So it was established in the year 1963 to 64 and operated nearly 23 years or above. So unfortunately, the government of India has recognized that UTI is inadequate to meet the requirements of medium and small household sectors, and immediately government has taken action by opening the operation of mutual funds which was established in India by State Bank of India. So SBI Mutual Fund is the first among all the commercial banks, public sector commercial banks. It established mutual funds in the year 1987 and started its operation on November. So thereafter, number of private sectors have come up with the mutual funds organizations like Indian Bank Mutual Funds, Canara Bank Mutual Funds, Punjab National Bank Mutual Funds, Life Insurance Corporation Mutual Funds, General Insurance Corporation Mutual Funds, etc. have come up with the mutual fund organization within a short span of time. Then coming to the private sector mutual funds. Private sector mutual funds, by seeing the success and growth of public sector mutual funds, the government decided to allow private sector companies in the mutual funds organizations. So like public sector organizations, private sector companies are also come up with the innovative ideas of mutual funds. So since then, a number of private companies have approached SEBI. SEBI means Securities Exchange Board of India. They approached SEBI to permit to set up for permission to set up private mutual funds. For permission to set up private mutual funds. So SEBI also provides some sort of guidelines like for registration, constitution, management, and scheme of mutual funds. So this is all about the first type called according to ownership. Then coming to the second type, according to the scheme of operation. In according to the scheme of operation, it will again subclassified into three types: open-ended scheme, close-ended scheme, and interval scheme. Open-ended scheme is nothing but in the name itself it is defining that open-ended, it is always in open, always available openly. So open-ended scheme means it is a scheme of mutual funds which offers unit for sale without specifying any duration of redemption, So this scheme do not have any fixed period of maturity, and the entries to the fund is always open to the investors. Open-ended means always open, so entry to the fund is always open to the investor. They can subscribe it at any time. So open-ended fund, simply saying like open-ended funds are provide better liquidity to the investors. Coming to the close-ended scheme, it is quite opposite to the open-ended scheme. Close-ended scheme ante, it is a scheme of mutual funds which the period of maturity is specified. Like open-ended, it is always fixed without any redemptions or anything, fixed. In this close-ended scheme, the maturity period of the scheme is specified, and the close-ended funds are fixed, and the investors can subscribe directly to the scheme only at the time of initial issue. ఇక్కడ ఏంటంటే ఓన్లీ ఇనీషియల్ ఇష్యూ దగ్గరే వీళ్ళు సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేయడానికి కుదురుతుంది, అండ్ ఆఫ్టర్ ద ఇనీషియల్ ఇష్యూ ఇస్ క్లోజ్డ్ ఏ పర్సన్ కెన్ బై ఆర్ సెల్ the units of scheme in secondary market. So close-ended schemes are always easier to manage. Interval scheme is very simple, and it is nothing but the combination of both open-ended scheme and close-ended scheme. So it is the scheme of mutual fund which is kept open for a specific interval, and after that it will be closed. That's all about the type according to the scheme of operation. Then coming to the according to portfolio, third type is according to portfolio. It is nothing but there are subclassified into this is subclassified into nine elements. So I will just tell one by one with a simple definitions. The first one is income funds. Income fund provides maximum current income to the investors. In the name itself it is defining that income funds, it provides maximum income to the investors. Growth funds, it aims at providing capital appreciation. Growth funds always aims at providing capital appreciation. Balanced fund means what? Where there are two elements, the balance between those two elements is called balanced fund. Those two elements are appreciation in stock and regular returns. Maintaining balance between appreciation in stock and regular interest and dividend is called balanced fund. Bond funds means in any way we can, in any time we can earn some income. ensures regular income for investors. Bond funds. Specialized funds are nothing but it is invest in particular type of securities. Specialized means particular type. Specialized means it ensures that investors will be invested in particular type of securities. Leveraged funds. The main objective of leveraged funds is to maximize capital appreciation. And the taxation funds, in the name itself it is defining the taxation fund, which means it provides tax benefits to the investors. Money market mutual funds. The primary objective of money market mutual fund is to exclusively investing in money market instruments. So the fourth type of mutual fund is according to the location. According to the location, there are two locations, the domestic location and offshore funds, domestic funds and offshore funds. The domestic funds అంటే మనందరికీ తెలుసు అదేంటి అని అంటే విత్ ఇన్ ద కంట్రీ, విత్ ద సేమ్ కంట్రీ జరిగితే అది డొమెస్టిక్ ఫండ్స్ అవుతుంది. ఆఫ్షోర్ ఈజ్ ఆపోజిట్ టు డొమెస్టిక్ ఫండ్, అంటే అదర్ దాన్ ద డొమెస్టిక్ కంట్రీ. Domestic funds are the funds which mobilize the savings of people within the country, and again subclassified into scheme of operation and portfolio. These topics I have discussed earlier in the types of mutual funds. And offshore funds, these types it is opposite to the domestic funds. These funds are those which raise or mobile funds in countries other than the domestic country. That's all about the according to the location. And the last type is according to the market capitalization. According to the market capitalization, thus it is very simple to remember. There are only 3 subclassified topics: one large cap, medium cap and small cap. Large cap, medium cap and small cap. So each caps is contributed their total capitalization in different percentages. Large cap contributes its total capitalization at the rate of 85%, medium cap at the rate of 15% and small cap at the rate of 5%. So these funds are invested in the same manner. That's all about the types of mutual funds. I have explained every type that is according to the ownership, subclassified into public sector mutual funds and private sector mutual funds. According to the scheme of operation, subclassified into 3: open-ended scheme, close-ended scheme and interval scheme. According to the portfolio, there are 9: balanced funds, growth funds, stock equity funds, bond funds, specialized funds, leveraged funds, taxation funds, money market funds. And according to the location, there are subclassified into 2: domestic funds and offshore funds. And according to the market capitalization, subclassified into 3: large cap, medium cap and small cap. That's all about the types of mutual funds. Then stepping to advantages and as well as disadvantages of mutual funds. We have seen today in this world, mutual funds are gaining more and more worldwide popular, becoming very popular in worldwide. So because of some advantage, this is possible only because of some advantage. Some of the advantages of mutual funds are, it may be possible because of diversification. So diversification is one of the advantage of mutual funds. And export supervision and management. The next one is liquidity. Liquidity is both advantage as well as disadvantage. The advantage of liquidity is investment made, its scheme can easily converted back to the investors, converted back to the money to the investors, convert back into the cash without any expenditure, brokerages and delay in service, all etc. So liquidity is one of the advantage of mutual fund. And investor protection. In mutual funds there is a protection against the investors. High returns. If we invest something in the mutual funds, we can retrieve back with the higher interest, higher returns. This is all about advantages of mutual funds. There are some disadvantages too, and the first disadvantage I have told you earlier, that liquidity is both advantage and disadvantages. No, the disadvantage of liquidity is the crisis of liquidity. There is no easiest to exist route anmata. It may be because of late deliveries, may be reason of late deliveries, more expenses incurred, and etc. Delay in service. The next disadvantage is delay in service. అంటే డబ్బులు త్వరగా పడటం అట్లాంటివి జరగవు అనమాట. అవి చాలా డిలే అవుతూ ఉంటాయి. లేట్ సర్వీసెస్. ల్యాక్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్నోవేషన్. మ్యూచువల్ ఫండ్స్ ఆర్ fail to introduce innovative ideas in terms of risk, in terms of liquidity and choice of investors, and bad deliveries. It is one of the disadvantages of mutual fund. And the last disadvantage is inadequate research. So this is all about the mutual funds. I have told you the introduction of mutual funds, types of mutual funds, advantages and disadvantages. So thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity to share everything with you all, and have a good day. Thank you.